Thank you so much. Thank you to CMPI for acknowledging me this evening. I tell you, it was kind of overwhelming knowing that my name was going to be in the same sentence with Governor Daniels and also Dr. Offit. I mean, I think these are people who have done things and set a standard in ensuring care for others that I hope that I one day get to achieve. A lot of you know me because of my television talk show. A lot of you don't know much more about me other than that, so maybe I could just take a quick second. I'd like to kind of tell you a couple things that I'm doing and why I feel it's just such an honor to be in this room with so many people who are some of the innovative creators, the scientists, the doctors, some of you who fund projects here and you go through to work every single day and you hardly ever have anybody walk up to you and actually say thank you for what it is you do. Earlier this evening I was speaking to somebody, and not to point anyone out, but we were having a conversation about the fact that, you know, there's so much difficulty in the choices that people have to make these days and what form of medication, what treatments they seek. And often a lot of people aren't given a lot of information. And one of the areas that they're not given information in is how hard the people who work at trying to cure our illnesses do this every day. And I'm taken aback from every day. I have somebody who walk up to me and say something to me about something to vilify a pharmaceutical company, or to say something really terrible about the fact that the amount of money that's spent on research and all the wasted money and these people who are really doing nothing other than trying to take advantage of the sick. And I say, you know, how dare you, honestly, look a person in the face who goes to work every single day because they have an idea. And that idea that they have is deep down in their heart that they know will end up one day doing something to save one person. They don't care whether or not anybody ever walks up to them and pats them on the back and says thank you. They just do it. And I often say that it's almost impossible to find me one person who will tell you that I go to work every day so that I can steal money from sick people when I go research. But that's kind of this attitude that some people in this country have right now about researchers, and then they have this attitude about researchers who team up with doctors, and then they're getting even more attitude right now about researchers who team up with doctors who team up with people who can fund research. Well, let me tell you, I've been involved in a lot of campaigns in the course of the last 10 years of my life, and really the last 4 years since I've left television. But I'm embarking on one right now that really, without you ever asking me to do this, I'm doing this because we need to start making people aware of the fact that there's research being done around this country that can change people's lives overnight. Let me just give you some examples. Why am I so motivated and moved by this? Well, most of you know I was diagnosed with MS back in 1999. And when I was diagnosed in 1999, I had a doctor have the nerve to look me in the face and tell me that he thought I was going to be in a wheelchair in less than 4 years, based on what he analyzed as the load of plaques in my brain and the fact that I was an African-American male, and African-American males do the worst with this disease. And I honestly, literally, almost smacked him across the room. I ended the visit. Right there. He said, well, I'm going to schedule an MRI for you. I said, no, you're not. I'm leaving. Thanks. He said, wait. I said, no, that's okay. I'll go see somebody else. Because he said, what are you doing? I said, well, how dare you break out a crystal ball? And you knew nothing about me when I walked in this door. And now you think your crystal ball is going to tell you what I'm going to be when I walk out of this door? You see me for 1 hour? And this is part of the problem that we have right now with medicine, communicating between doctors and patients. Because doctors make these statements and expect the person to go back home and live with this. You're going to be in a wheelchair in 4 years. First off, for me, I defy anybody to ever attempt to define me but me. That's first. I will own the definition of who I am from now until the day I drop. And when that man told me that, yeah, it took me about 3 months for me to straighten my own head out, maybe 6 months, because I went through the deepest of depression that you could think of. Attempted to take my life 3 times. No ifs, ands, or buts. I've written about it. And then I realized, how crazy am I that I have an opportunity right now, a platform and a stage, to do things that no one else who's ever been diagnosed with this illness has a chance to do. I was grandiose in my thoughts, but that's what I believed. And then that's what set me on this mission, this path that I've been on, to now try to make sure that as I learn things, whatever I learn, I'm going to make sure I turn it back and give it back to other people so I can share it with them. So coming back to the point that I make about researchers is the fact that there are so many people who don't understand that there are devices that are available today that can change the lives of people who suffer, and all it needs is just a little bit more research or a little bit more funding. But it won't get the funding or the research because it doesn't get the right kind of television show or television coverage, or you don't get the right kind of coverage in the newspaper, or somebody doesn't, applaud it, from a celebrity standpoint or not, and therefore nobody knows about it. Let me give you some examples. For the last 3 years, every month, I try to visit our soldiers who are returning from Afghanistan and Iraq. Every single one of them that goes through the Walter Reed or Bethesda military complex, I go in and try to sit. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say that for that, but thank you. For me, please, I don't even want an applause for this because this is my duty. I did 22 years in the military. I was in the Marine Corps and the Navy. I'm a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. I owe it to my boys. They're the ones who pay my bills. They've kept me on the air. I owe it. So, as I go down to Bethesda and Walter Reed and I walk through, I noticed the one thing that was consistent with every soldier. Forget all the garbage you hear. Every one of our soldiers who have been in the battlefield is suffering from PTSD. They're lying to you when they tell you that it's only 10 or 20 or 30%. Every one of them. If they were in a blast zone and that brain was rattled, they are suffering today. Okay? I happen to see the extreme sufferers. Guys who, and I've been seeing guys, I normally get down to Bethesda or Walter Reed on a Monday or Tuesday, so I get the guys that have just been flown back in from Germany on Saturday. They've had their first 2 operations on Sunday. Normally they sign up to see me after their 3rd operation on Monday morning because they know Montel's coming. So I go and I hang out. I think part of the reason why they appreciate me coming is because I will sit there and listen through the nomenclature, which round you use to put it through the skull of that bad guy. Because they just want to talk, okay? But as I look at them, I started to realize that because of my illness, MS, I suffer from deep depression, emotional lability. I suffer from anxiety. I've been working for the last 1.5 years in a double-blind study out of the University of Wisconsin that I guinea pigged myself into to utilize a medical device that has been now validated by 30-year-old Nobel Peace Prize science, 20-year-old Nobel Peace Prize science. You can look it up on my website. It's called the Wisconsin Project. I've been shocking the devil out of my tongue 4 times a day to stimulate my brainstem. And this has impacted my everyday life. And I will not stop until I can get this into the mouths of every single soldier that comes back here. Now, uphill battle. This has been a tough one. It's been funded by the University of Wisconsin. They've got funding over here, over there. I talked about it for 1 second on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Blew this thing up so huge that people around the world were threatening the university if they didn't let them have the device the same way they gave it to me, and I'm part of a double-blind study. The point that I'm trying to make is that this device right now has already completely eliminated 2 of my symptoms from MS. Gone. Why am I the guy that has it? I can afford it. It's going to be 10 more years before we get through the FDA and all of the garbage we got to go through to start saving people's lives. So, the point I'm making with this is the fact that I'm making this my mission, along with, since I know, and I spoke earlier this year at the Acre meeting, I spoke about the fact that the problem is that you guys don't do a good enough job for yourself. We let reality TV make the stars and celebrities of our society. And they do it because sometimes these stars and celebrities have stories and storylines that people think are entertaining. But guess what? A lot of you in this room who are doctors, who are scientists, are working on projects that have storylines that are just as exciting as anything Kim Kardashian can do. She might be better looking than a couple of you guys, but guys, not none of you women, but the point is they have to fictionalize their garbage to come up with something as exciting as the fact that you can help a person get up out of a wheelchair and walk. They have to fictionalize, the fact that they had a hard time with a handbag and you can give somebody back a piece of their life. You just have to tell the story differently than you've been telling it. You have to make partnerships with people who can tell those stories differently than you can tell it, and I will guarantee you that the public will jump aboard. Because just like me, and just like the governor said, Americans have the ability to make great decisions. We just need the information. I want to walk tomorrow. Okay? Now, but guess what? I can help you get the plaque on your wall if we do it at the same time. And there's device, I right now, I don't say this because I'm trying to do this. I just completed a surgery. Those of you in this room who know MS, and I'm sure there's a lot of you who do, you recognize that there's this controversy going on worldwide right now over something called CCSVI. If I said something that some of you recognize, raise your hand if you did. It's a surgery called CCSVI. Okay, now for 2.5 years ago, when Dr. Zamboni in Italy first wrote the first paper about this surgery, thinking about the fact that MS was a venous disease as reported in 1863 when it was first written about, he decided to perform the surgery on his own wife that now has prompted 18,000 surgeries worldwide. Anywhere from 4 to 10 deaths because we haven't figured it out yet. Nobody's really keeping good track because the surgeries are being done in places like Costa Rica, places like Thailand, places like India, and now I heard that they're doing them in Germany, charging Americans anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 a pop for surgery, calling it a liberation surgery from MS. Now, I started getting emails from people all over the world asking, Montel, what do you think about this? You're the man, you're the poster child for MS. What do you think about this? For 2 years, I was getting these emails, to the point that I got sick of getting these emails. So I said, you know what? Let me find out about this surgery. And I reached out to a doctor here in the United States who supposedly is the #1 doctor in the country on this. I sat down and had a conversation with him. I said, look, I'm tired of this. Maybe, maybe not. Do it. So on June 30th, I did it. I underwent the surgery. And I'm about to report this on Dr. Oz within the next 2 weeks. And part of the reason why is because I want to save Americans' lives, and I want to save some Americans some money. This is not a cure for MS. And those who have been touting it should lose their licenses. It is, however, an opportunity to abate some symptoms. And that I will back from here to eternity. But I will not back the lie that this is liberation surgery for MS. So my point is what I'm making. Thank you so much for this award. Thank you, because I feel like I'm in a room full of people who get it. Now we just got to help you guys get America to get it. And I'm here to do that. Thank you.